Hey everybody, this is Marcel Irnieracing News on July 11th, giving you a status update on Merlin being rebuilt in the Irnieracing Steel Bin shop. And obviously I took off the beat up subframe, and I got fantastic news that I've announced on my Instagram. If you guys aren't following Instagram, it's just Irnieracing. But you see how twisted that is. But look what showed up today in the mail. Thanks to Ivan at Superbike Depot in Eastern Canada. He donated this stuff, like super awesome. He donated a new tight tails rear subframe and a fairing stay, and he told me he was going to send me these, and then of course it came with a couple little, a brake reservoir holder, a few for the windscreen, and I guess these, I don't know, those go with the brake reservoirs, and I'm not sure what, typically copper washers, but good washers nonetheless. And some grips, because I'm going to need some new grips, obviously. And because this one is getting worn down. You can see how worn down this grip is. So I'll throw that one, pull that one off, and put it on. I'm actually using the stock throttle, so I actually still run, oh, this got double. Yeah, still run the stock grip, which really sucks because it's super stiff and doesn't soften it. There's no, the vibrations go right through it. But because of this special throttle, it's just a bunch of headache to change that. And I've done it before, because you got to strip. There's a whole heated grips underneath there, and it's not the right size. It's not a typical size. I actually changed the buttons. Here's the original buttons I took off that weren't working. And it turns out they still do work. It wasn't the fact that the buttons look like this. It was that the plug had unplugged inside the buttons. And I actually had another spare I found as well. And you can see, so the system of the throttle, it also bolts on through. So you have to drill a hole in your handlebars, the bars, essentially, to then slide these things on and off, or kind of make a system. No, this is not the throttle side. Sorry, this is the left side. And of course, there's the fuel pump pulled out, and the tank got super wrecked. Here's the tank from the super high side there, just completely, look at that, cracked right around. Right, you see it? Look at that, right through. I was actually trying to remove this, and I'm like, how the hell do you get this thing out there? There's some bolts underneath it. So anyways, if anyone actually, that's another thing, is anyone has the 2015 plus tank, that would be awesome. If somebody wants to donate a 15 plus tank, that would be awesome as well. So I'm gonna get on changing the fairing stay. I tried straightening it out, and you can see I still have a little straightening to do, but I'll take this one off, put this one on, and then this one will become the spare. And of course I already put all the effort in, put the stock subframe on, and so I got to get on, taking it all apart again as well. And my muffler, unfortunately, got dented right there and then crushed up here. So I'm going to maybe get I can still run this because it still goes right through the hole. You can see it, it's not crushed inside. I guess this is, oh yeah, and of course I'm still waiting to hear back from everybody. We haven't made a decision, so we're waiting to hear from all the tire manufacturers, from Dunlop, Michelin, Pirelli, and of course, you guys know I did a test for Bridgestone, and I'm trying to see what is the best deal, because now I'm the fastest guy in the Washington series, and so who wants the tires to be at the top step, as well as all of these videos and this in-depth analysis and talking about all the different tire compounds. Like this was the extra soft we put on, and we tested on the soft earlier in the day, and and what temperatures each tire should be at, and so this is actually a 2012 tank. You guys might remember Idle Fit, and then there's the old Schubert logo as well. But yeah, we had a bunch of tanks from the 2012s and 14 bikes we had with the Moby Buff team. That's what that Moby Buff paint job color was. Remember the orange? And so luckily it fits. It fits in the same holes. It's just going to be taller, which is actually better. I like my little pad up here. Of course, that pad is now right here. So you guys remember how I had that on the other tank. Maybe I'll make a new version of this. A lot of people had those little carbon covers that would go on the front and create Like essentially you want this to not go in. I want it to go like straight up and like in like this space to hold, because you're into there with your body, using it as like essentially a stopper. Oh yeah, so and then we're going to probably have some news coming in on a few other things that I'm not going to mention in terms of the bike. I'm working on next year's 2025 race program, where we're going to certainly go for the 2025 Washington Race Series Championship. Could do the Oregon a bit too, but we're going to win the Washington Championship next year, and we're going to have a 2025, could be a 2024. I'm talking with BMW North America. I'm talking with Alpha Racing. We're looking at the best option, the best bang for your buck for me for racing at speed. And I'm going to have to get this refreshed as well. It's time this shock gets refreshed since like whatever, 2018 or 19, and could do the forks as well. Old fluid, right? It's going to get a little dirty. So yeah, also like, wow, this was terrible. I had to replace this randomly. I went to put the gas tank on and boom, I've never had this happen before, but it's so dried out, the seal. And then of course, yeah, this is your fuel. It hooks up in the bottom. And so luckily I was able to get a spare. And so that could have been a catastrophe at the track. Always carry a spare fuel, and like you take your tank off and on, and you're screwed. Your day's over. There's no, what are you going to do at the track? You can't even, you can't get new seals. They get over it very well. You'd be MacGyvering like crazy. And bodywork wise, yeah, I don't have a spare windscreen. I went through 2 windscreens in that weekend, and so it's cracked right here. Let me turn the light on. I might actually have to run this. I won't be able to see through it very well, but I'll have to peek above. Because I didn't get a spare. I contacted MRA. I love their windscreens, and haven't got them to send me one out yet. It's the process is taking longer than I'd like. So, or I have a stock one, but the stock one only comes up to like here, right? So it doesn't do anything to help. And yeah, you guys can see I'm collecting way too many old tires. I should probably get rid of these and some street ones. And then I got my dirt bike, and look at the studs, and I got like the Midas rear, and what was it, 754 or something. And then I got, trailer tires. Also, the interesting thing is when you go back to the 2012 tank, then you have to use the 2012, like obviously the ECU tank cover and the original side ones that fit with that tank versus, they're different than the ones that are for like the 15 plus. It's a different shape. So got to keep that in mind as well. So yeah, guys, so I'm hobbling around right now. I just did my first day in the gym. I did an upper body strength workout, and because I'm hobbling, I can't walk more than like short distances and stay standing too long. I need to keep the weight off of it. I did go to the hospital just like a few days ago to verify why it's still why it's healing so slow. I was convinced it must have a fracture, but the x-ray didn't show any fracture, but there might still be a fracture, because the CT scan would actually get in there and deeper and actually find if there's a fracture, but it would be really tiny otherwise. So that's the update, guys. In 2 weeks, like a week like this right now, it's like Thursday or Friday, but I would literally be at the track 2 weeks from today. So hopefully my ankle will be doing much better, and we'll get Merlin out there and we'll go win the Formula Ultra Saturday, Sunday, and Open Superbike. I'll probably just do the 3 races, not do the super stock race, just because of, it's just more races, more tires, more money, or more race fuel. And yeah. And of course, I got to pull the wheel out of the trailer. That front wheel is smashed. Let's take a look at it. Hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks totally can get that fixed. Just a little rubber hammer mallet style. Whomp. Oh yeah, no problem. I mean, look at this thing. Holy smokes. I think it can be fixed. What do you guys think? Send it over to GP Wheel or the guys in Texas. There's a couple shops that fix wheels. Yeah. Well, at least it was the wheel that already had this rough. This was actually, the scratches was from like a gravel trap from years ago. Hopefully, I'm assuming the rotor, of course the rotors and everything should be straight. But that's the racing life, guys. That's the racing life. Oh, might get a YouTube notice on that. Oh yeah, also I picked up a new chain. I did some studying on chains, check this thing out. This is the RK's new XRU, and it's literally 5.35 pounds. It's one of the lightest chains out there for a 520 with, what was it, 9,000 pounds tensile strength. It's not designed for longevity, it's designed for racing. It is a racing application made in Japan. I've always used RK chains. I've tried the DID and all these others, and then DID's quality went to shit years ago. Maybe it's gotten better now, but they started, their prices were ridiculous and their tensile strength was terrible. And now this is going to be, I mean, literally this could be like half a horsepower overall over the entire power band. Maybe you know, we'll see, I guess, if we get it back to the dyno. But road race chain, you guys, check it out. XRU, look it up. I swear it's the race chain, 9,000 tensile strength, and yeah, like one of the lightest ones out there. Now, of course, the chains always come with like a master link, you know, rivet style. But I always order a couple extras because you never know if you have to take it apart, put it together, or if you have a problem, whatever. You got, you know, it's 120 link, but I'll take 3 off. Usually it's like 117 link. I'm actually thinking about, like, I was watching my videos over and over, and I'd be like, oh, where could I, you know, I don't want to be low. I don't want to be below 8,000 RPM. And so, like, how can I do that? And I want to keep a long, of course, I want to have the longest wheelbase. You can see I'm pretty far back in the stroke there. I could go, you know, another centimeter back tops. And what was this? Is like a 40. This is what I run at Pacific and the Ridge. It just kind of worked out that way. But well, it's going to be like a 40, I think, or a 41. One of those two. Never mind. 42. So it's a 42, and of course I'm running a 16 front. So I have a 15, 16, 17, and yeah. And I'm sure I'll get those funny YouTube comments from people. Just look at the ratio. You can just search online, gear ratio, sprocket ratios, and then those two, whatever combination of the 15 or blah blah blah, it'll give you a ratio, and you go up in the ratios. But of course you also have to play with your chain length and to try to get the bike as long as possible, because these old these old BMWs are too short. They just wheelie everywhere, stoppy everywhere. It's just a disaster to try to keep the wheel down, as you've seen in the videos on the onboard. I'm wheeling up, coming out of like 10 up the hill, on the way to 9 to 10, and you know, wheelies out of the chicane. I'm always steering too. One of the tricks is if you're steering, that's why you guys see the guys in MotoGP, they come out of a corner and then they steer right across that side of the track, and then they have to go back to prepare for the next left. Oh, I'm making you dizzy. But yeah, so when you're steering, the bike doesn't want to wheelie. So I'm always using the whole track also to reduce wheelies. But anyways, guys, so that's about it. And of course, my helmet got wrecked, so I got to grab another helmet. That's annoying as well. I guess I'll take a look at my boots because my ankle got smashed so badly. I still have another set of Falcos, but 45 was a little tight. And I had these old ones as well, the TCX. They're kind of like ski boots, though. They're a little stiff. And yeah. And and then I got some other body work. It's in the other bin, but I might have to reuse this. Anybody have a windscreen they can donate for this is the 15, 16 body work, and I also have body work for the previous gen. Yeah, there's the belly for like that's the 12 to 14 gen. Here it is, one of my old super bodies. Yeah, so this one, it takes the different windscreen. It takes the 12 to 14 windscreen. So if anyone has a windscreen for that body work as well, that would be fantastic. I need a job to pay for all this stuff. Might have to sell the Ninja here as well. Get rid of the 400. Maybe even sell the side-by-side if I want to get into racing with a new bike, of course, to help. What I really need to do is take my paintings down to the local shops here that sell paintings and get them in the stores and start selling my paintings, right? I'm an abstract painter. I became an abstract painter. And so I got a lot of paintings to get rid of. And I got these are some motorcycle ones. Oh, if only I could just show you the one behind here. Hold on a sec. There, check it out. It's pretty big. It's like 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. And it was my Brattle painting, the Honda guy. Just look at the neat abstract. You can just look so far into this stuff. If I put a flashlight on, oh, it's better without the flash, but there's just so much. Abstract is so fun because there's just so much more to look at than just a painting of like a forest or, you know, like typical picture scenes, or just there's so much the fun strokes, like this detailed thickness. There's your Brattle. yeah, so anyways, I was selling these ones for like $5,000, but I just haven't actually got them into the stores yet. And in the stores, they'll list them, of course, for like 9-10 grand, and then they give me half, right? They want to take half. So there's one in Kelowna here there's a couple of them off Pandosy that I'll get, and then there's another one. Yeah, it's all wrapped up there. Same idea, but totally different. But it's a motorcycle one as well. And so these little ones, this one's Northern Winds. I did in September 2022. These ones I'm selling for like $500. So there's lots of different designs, lots of different paintings, and yeah, you can just look at it when you wake up in the morning and just kind of just get lost in different lines and strokes. So if anybody's interested, just message me, and I'll have to start taking pictures of them all, and maybe I can sell them online and help with the racing, guys. So anyways, this is as opposed to like dealing with recycling to pay for racing, right? Got to do what it takes to race, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Marcel Irnie Racing. Cheers.